Thank you, guys. Good to be here. I'm joined by one of the greatest Mexican actors in history, Gael García Bernal, joining us inside the Sphere on set. It's great to talk to you. It feels nice talking to you in English, as we've spoken before in Spanish many times. Gael, how are you?
Man, very good. Very happy to be here, and thank you for the introduction of talking about the story. I think it's the history of acting, because I think it's because of the beard, no?
I thought you were playing a character for another movie or something like that.
Kung Fu Master.
Kung Fu Master.
Yeah.
It's great to have you here. We know about what the fans are going to see in between matches.
Yeah.
It's a film, and they're going to be hearing your voice. You're voicing these films. Just describe what it was for you when you were introduced with the idea and what it means to have Mexico represented in an event like this.
I was really surprised when I was invited to do it, but especially overly surprised when I saw what it was about, because there are these clips that are going to show in between the fights, and they tell a very optimistic, thorough, and kind of poetic story of Mexico and its relationship with combat sports. And where it comes from. You know, we always talk about this resilience that Mexicans have. We always talk about how resistant we are, how we have a great jaw. You know, we're good at aguantar.
We don't go down easy.
We don't go down easy. No, we don't go down easy. But at the same time, we're very good at finding the body. No, yeah. So it tells that story in a kind of a poetic way, related to the history of Mexico, and it's some beautiful clips that Carlos Lopez Estrada directed. And they're wonderful. You will see them. It's beautiful. And here in the Sphere, it's going to be amazing how they're going to look.
While you were voicing the films, was there something in particular that you said, this is gonna create some emotions in the fans? Was there something in special?
I was very moved. And you know, something that moves you means that it's going to resonate with a lot of people as well. I was very moved by talking in this optimistic sense about Mexico's future, about what comes next, you know, and about what we have to do in order to achieve a sense of social justice, and through fighting, but not literally, you know, but through keeping on surviving, you know, and keep on trying to make things better. So I was very moved by it.
And speaking of combat sports, Gael also stars in the upcoming Hulu series, La Máquina. I've seen a couple of episodes already. I'll let you guide us through it, but for now, why don't we take a look at this trailer? It's also going to be very exciting. La Máquina on Hulu. And I'm so happy to be joined now by one of the other greatest Mexican actors in history, Diego Luna, joining us on our set inside the Sphere. Was that good enough?
That was good enough. Thank you so much.
So first thing I have to ask is, I follow your career. When I was just a little child, I watched your films, and I grew up going, it has to be really awesome working with your best friend. But it's been 14 years that you guys were not on screen together. Is that right? 14 years, 13 years,
that's
14
correct.
years.
Yeah.
What was it like to be back on screen together again?
Like the first day, man.
Was it really?
Yeah. There is something magical. I mean, we have a lot of fun, but when you're allowed to play on a set, you know, with someone you can have a connection like the one we have, it's just too special, you know. It's difficult to stop. And it's difficult to stop laughing, actually, literally, on set, you know, because with these characters we had so much fun, but it's hard to say cut, you know.
You want to keep going.
Yeah.
You want to keep going.
Also, we've been talking a lot about this story, about when we came up with the idea of the characters and what happens, you know, and all those kind of things. So we were already working, and once we were with the characters, you know, like on the first scene that we had together, it was a bit like, oh, this is a bit shocking, no? It was like almost like a deja vu of childhood, of you know, again we're together again, like the same dynamic.
Yeah. No, it's it shows on screen. You can tell the chemistry never left you guys on screen. Now, we are about to experience one of the greatest live sporting events in history. And it's focused around Mexican fighters. You know the Mexican culture of combat sports. How important was for you guys to tell a story of an athlete who's inching the end of his career as a boxer?
Well, we focused on that immediately because we were like let's tell a story that is very close to our hearts, because Diego had done a documentary about Julio Cesar Chavez before, and I was started to training boxing quite hard, and we grew up watching Julio Cesar Chavez. You know, we grew up watching boxing and getting a lot into it, but also thinking, Mexico, what's the best, the sport that Mexicans are best at? Boxing. No, boxing is. And so we wanted to tell a story about how high-tech we are in boxing, how incredible it is, and how there's a culture, there's an inside culture, and within Mexico there's many different cultures as well of boxing. So we wanted to tell those intricacies, you know, we wanted to play with that, and whilst doing it and whilst practicing and whilst thinking about it, a lot of this, of the whole culture of boxing inspired us.
You play a boxer. I'm sure you went through some training for that, but you play a manager.
Yeah.
And the physical changes are astonishing. I know makeup artists do a great job, but
No. This
was there someone in particular that you got inspiration from to play that character?
so many. When I did the documentary, I met so many managers, and I mean, it can get crazy, right? I mean, Don King. Let's start there. But there's no one specific that I'm referring to. But it's this idea of being behind someone that generates this, you know, knowing every detail about that person that suddenly can fill an arena and make everyone go crazy, you know. What happens with that power? What happens when you're never in front? It can ruin, you know, your perception of yourself, you know. And this guy is a guy that can't look at himself at the mirror. And he's trying to fix something that is inside, right? He's injecting everything he finds in his face, butt, everywhere, right? So it was fun. It was fun to play it, and it was fun to stop playing it also, because it took 3 hours of my day every day in the mornings, you know, working with an amazing team to put that mask on, and then finding, you know, the character behind the mask, because it's not just about putting the mask, but it's about the guy there, you know, which is just a friend trying to please his friend somehow.
You've represented the Mexican culture for many, many years, and the fact that you guys are starring in the first ever Spanish language original Hulu series, it's one more step in how impactful you've been for Mexican culture here in this country. So I want to thank you guys for being here.
Look at this event too.
This event
all
speaks
happening
volumes
at the
of it,
same
right?
time, right?
It was just perfect to have you here. Diego Luna, Gael García Bernal,
Gracias.
two of the greatest actors in the history of Mexico, joining us. Thank you for being here. Gracias, señores.
Gracias a
And
ti.
we'll leave
Muchas gracias.
everybody with a sneak peek of Gael being one of the greatest boxers in TV.
Papá, sí tiene 8 años menos que tú. Cuando te dé un putazo se va a sentir como 20, ¿eh? Acuérdate que cuando incline la cabeza lo hace para sacar el hombro y ahí te va a dejar un hueco para que lo tumbes.
Ella me la sé, mija.
Sí, ya sé que te lo sabes, pues. Ándale.
Es tu ex, no tu hijo.
Si voy afuera,
Se
flaco.
hace tarde.
¿Y mis boletos?
Ahí están, ¿eh?
Ándale, pues. ¿Qué es esto? Acomódatelo.
Ay, pura envidia.
Es un árbol navideño, ¿eh?
Cheladilla, por eso te divorciaron.
Sí, ándale, pues.
Sabe más.
Pero ahí está, el sabor tapatío ya. Está. ¿Estamos? A ver, concentrado.
Sí, cabrón, pero vamos, güey.
Ey, ya, cabrón. Te la pelaste, cabrón. Partir madres, ¿no?
Representando al orgullo tapatío de Concepción, de Buenos Aires, Jalisco, México, Esteban.